Here we go to the airport. Good morning! Don't you go to Hawaii?
This is Mayor Jane Castle. On behalf of our great city of Tampa, I wish you safe.
The flight from Tampa to Phoenix is about 4 hours and 15 minutes, give or take. I started to do some planning for Phoenix on like how to spend our time in Phoenix, and then I quit because, to be honest, I kind of thought we would end up canceling this trip because we've been booking and canceling quite a bit lately. Side note, with Southwest, you can cancel your flight up to 2 hours before the flight. So I did everything, all the research that I came up with is basically done on the plane, and I found this place. It's called The Farm, and it is a legitimate working farm, but they have a restaurant. This is the best place for William to run around after a long flight, and all of their food is farm to table. We're waiting for our food to be ready. It's not ready, I haven't tried it yet, but we're just enjoying running around. This place is really cool. I'm glad that we found it. I also have to say it's the best cocktail I think I've ever had. I got a prickly pear margarita and Mitchell got a buzzed bunny, I think is what it was called, and both of them were so good. Mine was, you know, pretty self-explanatory, a pickled pear margarita, and his had like just a whole bunch of stuff in it, all kinds of fruit and a bunch of different kinds of liquor as well. Both were so good, and his came with a tahine rim, which was even like icing on the cake, I guess. So the food is amazing, the cocktails are phenomenal as well, and like I said, this is just the most perfect place to stretch your legs after a long flight. Flight from Tampa to Phoenix is about 4 hours and 15 minutes, give or take, so this is a perfect way to stop. Yeah. This is the smoked brisket French dip. It's a little messy because we almost dropped it, but trust me, it was delicious. You could tell that all of their food is made with fresh ingredients, and we actually picked this place for the venue. We wanted a place for William to be able to just kind of run freely. So we did not have high expectations of the food, but it exceeded any expectations we could have had. It was so good. Place to have weddings. They're actually setting up for a wedding now, and I can see why it would be so gorgeous to have your wedding here. Okay, down the way here is the more active farm, and back there, that's where we were eating, that's where we came from.
It's incredible, it's really cool. The food's insane and the drinks are really good.
That's pretty much what I said.
The
Oops.
the landscaping's pretty nice.
We are getting tired. We are adjusting a little bit to mountain time here. They are 2 hours behind. So just some adjustment. Like the intro said, we were in Phoenix for about 24 hours. We have the companion pass with Southwest, meaning that any flight Mitchell takes, I get to go with him for free. But Southwest does not have great flight options to Hawaii from Tampa Bay, so we had to create our own, which is why we had this 24-hour layover. We really loved getting to know Phoenix, and with Hawaii being so far away, it was nice for the kids to get a little bit of a break from traveling. Going straight through would just be a really long travel day. So this was a really good day. We had really wanted to go to the botanical gardens in Phoenix, but it just didn't work out for us. But we really enjoyed Phoenix, and we really want to come back to visit Phoenix for a few days on its own. We had a rental car because we had planned to do more exploring than we ended up being able to do. But if you didn't know this, let me be the one to tell you that if you rent a car from the Phoenix airport, it is a trek. It is definitely not in the terminal. It's easy to get to. The tram takes you right there, so it's not a huge deal. But it took around 20 minutes. Again, not a huge deal, but it did make our layover a little bit more work because in this layover, since we created it, we had to recheck our bags every time, and we had to go through TSA again. So just to add this like extra 20 minutes to it, it was just a little bit more than we had planned. So overall, there were pros and cons of having this 24-hour layover over going straight through to Hawaii. I am trying to talk Mitchell into going back to Hawaii early next year. And if we did that, we would travel straight through all in the same day. So you should try to talk him into it with me in the comments so that I can tell you which option is better, having the 24-hour layover or going straight through. Our flight from Tampa to Phoenix could not have gone better, which is amazing since that was the first flight of the trip. It really boosted our confidence, and I think if it had been horrible, we might have just switched our flight back and gone back to Tampa instead of continuing on to Hawaii. So remember that you can cancel a Southwest flight up until 2 hours before it leaves. So this really was an option that I was considering if it was a horrible flight. Unfortunately, our flight from Phoenix to Hawaii was horrible, like really horrible. I hope to never have that bad of a flight again. It was just really hard and really bad. So this video of William with one shoe off wandering around the Maui airport just really sums up how all of us were feeling. Hello, we made it to Maui, and I'm saying hello, not aloha, because I'm not quite feeling the aloha spirit yet. That flight was bad. It was just a lot to have two kind of longish flights, I think 2 days in a row. The adjustment to the time change was a little bit rough, so kids went into the flight tired already, and then we couldn't find milk at the airport, which is a problem we've never had before. Otherwise, we obviously would have packed it, because you can bring liquids through with kids as long as it's for the kids, like medically or whatever, milk. So our oldest kiddo still needs milk to fall asleep, so he didn't sleep on the plane. So he had a no nap yesterday, basically, no nap today, and like didn't sleep good last night. And then on the plane, it was like bedtime basically back home. So it was just, I will spare you the details. I'm sure you know. So we learned a few things. I will never not bring milk to an airport ever again. I have always been able to get milk. We have always been able to get milk at least from Starbucks. And the Starbucks at the Phoenix airport said they didn't know how to ring it up, so they wouldn't give us any milk. I will just, our mistake. We'll never make that mistake again. So anyway, I am sure within an hour we will forget all about it, and it's going to be so worth it. So Mitchell's in Target right now. It's just a mile from the airport, and then we're going to be on our way to the Airbnb. We're just picking up a few essentials, and then we will be back. I'm in the car with the kids because we did finally get one of them to take a nap. So also there's these chickens. I'll show you. They're right next to the car, and this is like the third person I've seen come feed them since we've been here. We've been here for like 7 minutes maybe, but anyway. Oh my gosh. We had the absolute best family in the whole entire world sitting in front of us today. They had a little girl who played with Will for probably 2 hours of the flight, and she like wanted to and was just so nice and kept him entertained for those 2 hours and happy. He absolutely loved her and adored her, and the mom just like kept reassuring me that we were doing a good job and everything was okay, and I just so needed to hear that. And she said that when the two kids that were with her were younger, that they had a really hard time in the airports, in the airplanes, and so she like, it was just, I will literally never forget them. Years from now, when we tell the story about how hard it was to get here, which hopefully that's not the story we're telling. Hopefully the story we're telling is how amazing it is here. But I'm sure that'll be part of it, and it'll be hilarious a few years from now. And every time I think of it, I will think of this family, and like, that's amazing. I will say the second we got into our car to drive to the Airbnb, we forgot all about how bad the flight was, and we fell in love with Maui immediately. We knew it was worth it right away. We stayed in the Ka'anapali area, and we had booked our Airbnb the night before, literally 12 hours before we checked in, because I'm not exaggerating when I tell you I wasn't sure if we'd end up following through with the entire trip or not. So the only video that I have of our Airbnb is vertical, but I wanted to show you because this place could not have been better. This is our 1-bedroom condo. It's right on the water, and it was actually so close to the water that sometimes it looked like we were on a cruise ship. Absolutely stunning. They did heavily discount the price because the air conditioning was out, which they knew ahead of time. I think they knocked like 50% off, and I think that if they had not done that, we wouldn't have even considered staying here. It's not really a cheap place, but the 50% off made it more affordable. This was a perfect place for us though, and we really liked the location. We felt like this area was perfect for families. A lot of people also like the Kihei and Wailea areas. We did visit down there. We have videos coming up of those areas. They were also incredible and amazing, but we really loved this area for families. You really can't go wrong anywhere in Maui though. And then we thought this was pretty crazy. This literally happened when we looked out our window the second we all got there. This is a seal right outside of our front window. Absolutely so cool to see. By the time we checked in, we were all beyond exhausted. There's a little food truck park right next to our condos. It's like 2 or 3 blocks away. So Mitchell went there for dinner and got us sushi, which was absolutely perfect. We ate our dinner really quickly and watched the sunset. Then we all went to bed. We were so tired. And that is how we traveled from Tampa Bay to Maui with 2 little kids. There are some exciting videos coming up of what we did in Maui, and I can't wait to show you. If you are as excited as me to see some Maui content, make sure that you are subscribed, and thank you so much for watching.